Hi guys, this is Genevieve and today I'm drawing Princess Zelda. And this is going to be a two-part one this week. I've got the pencil and inks, and then I'll do the coloring in another piece. I'm starting out with a circle that's got a cross through it, and that's how I like to start my faces. Gives me an idea of the angle of the face and where the center is. And I'm starting out, I always start with the eyes, that's my favorite part. And I like to spend a lot of time getting them even and matching sizes. And then I go in with the nose, trying to keep it centered on that line that I've got there, the guideline. And I usually draw more lines than I need for the nose, just to kind of give me a sense of how it's going to fill out on the face. Then I do the eyebrows. And I decided that nose wasn't the right angle for the face, so I erased it. And I'm going to draw it again. If you don't like it, erase it. Start over. And get it right so that when you're done, you have something that you really love. So now I've got a better nose that I like better. And I like to use a gummy eraser and a 2H pencil because the 2H pencil draws pretty light lines, so it's easy to erase. Once I've got the nose, and I drew the upper lip, and I'm going to draw the shape of the face before I put the lower lip in, just to make sure that I have everything spaced the way that I want it. And I kind of lengthen the mouth a little bit in there to make it fit with the face a little better. Now I'm going to erase my guidelines because I've got my face pretty much the way that I like it. So the guidelines aren't necessary. I'm drawing kind of the hairline. I always draw the hairline and the ear, even if later on I end up drawing bangs and not needing the hairline and drawing hair over the ear. I'll just erase those later, but they help me know where the forehead is and how the neck should be placed as far as where the ear is. So the neck and shoulders, I've kind of got those where I want, so now I'm starting on the hair. At this point, I wasn't sure who I wanted her to be, so I actually took a break to look at her and kind of decide. And over the weekend, some friends and I were talking a lot about Legend of Zelda and how much we love those video games, so I decided that I wanted to make her Princess Zelda from the Twilight Princess. She's kind of a somber, grown-up looking Princess Zelda in that game. And I thought that fit with the face that I drew. Sometimes I start out with an idea in my head of who I'm drawing, and I go in that direction. But sometimes I just draw a face and decide later on who that face is going to be. So now I'm drawing her crown. Kind of has a fleur-de-lis in the center with a jewel in it, and then kind of golden leaves around the edge of it. And I had to change her ear to be a pointed elf-like ear because Hyruleans have long pointed ears. And I'm drawing kind of the braids, or I don't know what those are, hair that come down on either side of her face and the top of her hair. I like to draw lines in there to show the hair texture and the direction that it's being styled or pulled in. Reinforcing some lines and redefining here. I'm drawing the armor pieces that on her shoulders. What are those called? Like pal-jawls or something? Anyways, that's what those are. And she has kind of a necklace piece down there that goes between them. So unfortunately that part kind of got cut off, but I think you'll see it later on. Just drawing in some details of the armor pieces there. And her collarbone. Now I'm going to draw the ties that are kind of binding those two braids, I guess we'll call them. Give some detail in there. Lots of lines for this piece, which is going to make it fun to ink later on. Now that I've got the pencils done, I always start with my finest point here. I'm using a 0.1 millimeter Copic Multiliner. I like the multiliners because the ink doesn't smear or bleed when you go over it with Copic markers later on. It's Copic proof. And I like the fine line for the details of the face, because that's where you want the most detail, and having finer lines really matters. So I do all of the lines of the face, and I kind of go over my lines to add thickness around the edges, and give the line some variance. Now I'm coming back with a 0.3 millimeter, and I fill in the lashes. And then I do the outline of the face, which is the trickiest part because getting it to stay the shape that it is in the pencils sometimes is tricky for me. And again, you can see that I'm varying the line width. I go back over it to kind of give it width in some places and not in others. I do most of my outlining with the 0.3 millimeter. So I've got the crown, and I'm just doing the outlines here of the big shapes of the crown. I'll go back later and add more detail with the 0.1 millimeter again once I've got all of the big stuff outlined. And this is my 0.5 millimeter. I'm going to thicken up some of the outline shapes. I really like a lot of variation in line widths. I think it adds interest to the piece. And I like bold outlines around, like to do a bold outline around the face shape, and then have finer lines for the facial features, the lips and the nose and the eyes. And the same with the hair. Once I've got the hair done, I go back with my 0.1 and add in kind of the hairlines on the inside. Here's my 0.1 millimeter. I'm doing the details of the crown. And again, just the waves in her hair and stuff with the 0.1. Now that all that stuff is done, I'm going to go back with my biggest marker, which is a 0.7 millimeter, and go around the outside. I like to put a nice, thick, chunky black outline around the outside of the piece, of the character, to set it apart from the background. I just like the way it looks. And I'm adding in her pupils. Now that it's done, I'm going back over the piece with my gummy eraser and erasing all my pencil lines. Can't even see the pencil lines in this, but now they're all gone. And there she is. Thanks for watching.